Hello again, Mother.
Jonathan, back...
Goodbye, Mother.
Goodbye, son. Your father and I have spoken about your fiancé, Mary. We believe he'll be an honorable husband for you. We'll set a date for the marriage then. That way, I'm sure one of my children will give me grandchildren. I understand your thirst for knowledge, Jonathan, and your father and I are proud of it. But you are not that young anymore, my son. When will I meet your soulmate? You can ascribe my romantic tendencies to my French origins if you want, Aubrey. But I'll never cease to believe in a match made in heaven, my beloved.
I really wish you could meet her, Mother. You would love her.
Aubrey?
Hello again, Mother.
Jonathan, back already. Good, good. I was just about to go outside to find you. You shouldn't stay away for so long.
Do you really see Mary and Father? Do you also see me as one of the dead?
Yes. For many years, it was just a game. Since your father left us without a word, I took to the habit of speaking to him.
Yes, I remember. I sometimes spied on you and listened to you talking with Father in the garden. It made me so angry then. But it was just a game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But since then, my poor dead Mary visited me in my room. She led me to her grave, and there you were. I now know the dead can haunt us.
Should I leave you alone? Just ask, and I swear you'll never hear from me again.
Oh, no, Johnny. You're always welcome in this house. And one day, when I finally die, we'll all be together again, just as Mary promised us.
I'm so sorry. You did not deserve to endure this. Mary should never have done this to you.
That's true, my son. But you know what the worst part is? I liked it when Mary spoke in my head. Now she is silent, and it makes me so sad.
Step away, sir. I said go back home!
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back. Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment.
What is the...
For a time, the West End...
Have you no relatives anywhere?
Your father managed to guarantee...
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir.
To be present at the funeral with you both.
I would not dare to question you.
Do you know my mother speaks to the dead members of this family?
Yes. I sometimes hear her speaking to you, Miss Mary, and her baby. Sometimes your father, too.
So she thinks I'm also dead. And what about you?
I believe she only sees her relatives as the dead she speaks to, Mr. Jonathan. It breaks my heart to see Miss Reed like that.
I am powerless to help her. She thinks I'm a ghost too. Whatever I say, she just sees me as another dead relative.
But you are still alive, Mr. Jonathan. That's the difference. And I am sure Miss Reed will realize it soon.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Do you really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
I really don't know. I have always enjoyed seeing new horizons. Once the epidemic is over, it would be nice to leave London for a while.
I understand, Mr. Jonathan. But you have to realize that your mother needs you. Your next departure could break her heart.
I'm currently investigating source...
Not really, except all the Macphersons' servants resigned a few days ago. They feared becoming infected, they said.
The Macphersons? Where do they live?
I think it's a rich house near the railway bridge in the southern part of the district.
Goodbye, Avery.
Of course, Mr. John.
It's locked. Hello again.
Jonathan!
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, the Thames, and then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
I was attacked, Mother. And I've not been the same since.
The important thing is that you finally returned home. I was worried, you know. You were the last member of the family of whom I had no news. Even Mary comes more often than you.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I know I have failed you since I returned. I even watched you bury Mary from a distance. From now on, I will protect you. You have my word.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes, and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Goodbye, Mother.
Goodbye. Aubrey, I'm not sure visiting Italy is a good...
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for?
It's not a place for you, sir. Best be on your way home.
Hey, boys! We've got one of them! Over there! There's one of them vermin! Daddy leads!
This is despicable.
Support the equality between... men and women!
They're all around you, waiting for you to let your guard down.
Good evening, old.
I won't lie to you, Johnny.
Do you need medical?
It's a little
I will see. I'm in.
infection, is it?
Yes. What about?
Not enough noise for a bit.
You need some...
between men and women.
Good evening.
And good.
I'm investigating the source of the...
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys.
Goodbye.
She's been.
Whether you need to buy something or not, I'm happy to help. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
I'm investigating...
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand?
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell. I'm sure you'll take care of yourself. It's locked, all right.
I said I wanted to leave the house!
What? Leave me alone with them while you go back to your hall. Fucking convenient.
She tricked me! I love you!
Fucking pathetic pig.
I've never seen such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution? So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher. I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after. It's locked. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage. He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture. This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent. Ah!
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school. Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
Women of all countries unite! Women's right to vote.
It could be someone you know. The city. Even someone you
Women of all countries unite!
Good evening, Doc.
I may have a look at...
Jonathan, my dear. Yes, Jonathan? Spin.
Good evening.
I may have a look at...
Support the equality between men and women.
I don't care! Ah! You'll pay for that! Ah! Christ! He's dead! Ah! Ah! It's not human! Kill it! God wants what you see! No rest for the wicked! Away with you! Remember your vows, friends! Oh no!
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Sorry, sir. No admittance. Don't come closer, sir. Over there! There's one of them birds. Step back, sir. Go on, off your trot. Better go home, sir.
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that. I cannot enter.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Queen again. Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head. Fit only to...
It's locked.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. You killed, I summoned thee, my children of the night. I smell your fear. Your hand is shaking. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? My blade! Babylon. Here and obey, for your queen commands you. Ha! Ha! My children, my beloved, die for the love of me. I summon thee, my children of the night. Come to me, my servants! Avenge me! Woe to thee, son of Babylon! Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum!
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I've put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now. I cannot enter. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Shall prevail!
These people want me dead. I need to leave now. So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
better go home, sir. Inserisci! Kill it! You lazy bastard! Best stay back, sir. Go back home, idiots! Stupid beast! Watch yourselves! There's one of them! That's got hurt! No! Get a taste of this!
When I get... Hey, Doc.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Jesus, I've never seen so many people apart.
Good evening, Dr. Timmons.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Timmons. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
The patients are not fools. They know we are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require
Do you know?
I will... Goodbye, Mrs. Goswell. Good evening.
I'm okay.
I have to go now.
I'm all right. Waste your time with me.
Good evening. Do you need... would have... I will... Goodbye. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you need...
I'm afraid...
I will... Goodbye.
What news, Jonathan? I've heard you've now joined the vampire elite of London.
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
Have you seen Lady Ashbury recently?
Yes, she popped in yesterday. Told me about your new friends in the West End.
Just a courtesy visit, then.
Yes. And no. She was en route to the docks, I think, following a lead concerning your maker.
I may have found the source of the contagion. Doris Fletcher, the actress. Thankfully, in the end, she was destroyed by fire.
Really? Oh, please, do tell me more.
Doris was a heavily mutated skull. Almost a new breed entirely. It's as if the disease had completely altered her mind and body. Highly contagious.
As if the disease had taken control of her will?
Yes. Once a beautiful and brilliant woman, she became motivated by hate alone.
Oh, she was a beauty. I met her when she visited the hospital to cheer up the sick. Too bad the fire destroyed her. But it was probably for the best.
Have you heard of similar cases?
No, I don't think so. Except, perhaps, it reminds me of an old report from the Brotherhood. Well, more an article, really.
What was it about?
The author, a friar, referred to a rare form of contagion in a skull he observed during the Black Death. The carrier was always female, Called them I-cores.
How's the situation at the Pembroke?
We're still holding out. Question is, for how long? What we really need is hope, Jonathan.
I'll come back later.
Always a pleasure to... Yes?
I'll come back.
Always a...
supposed to be an hospital? A pigsty was smoked out.
He's got one of them! This one of them burning vampire! Remember your vows, friends!
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
You again.
Have you heard anything?
That bastard's become something of...
Are you worried about...
I've heard rumours about some sort of militia patrolling, killing the sick. The wet boot boys are overrun.
Goodbye. Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr.
Have you got...
As long as he keeps on helping the poor, I'll...
Can I see...
As long as you have money.
Good evening, Mr.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything recently?
I don't give a rat's arse about Sean Ab.
Do you require...
That's something I didn't expect to hear again.
I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with, but it's a doctor's purpose to heal people.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
Aren't you...
I've heard armed men have started patrolling the city.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne. Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reed.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me.
A real doctor?
I don't know what to say.
Heard anything?
I heard that Mr. Hampton has been very sick, but now he's better.
Are you worried?
I never really felt safe in this town anyway. Now's the first time that everyone seems to feel the same way as me.
Is anything worrying you right now?
Gunshots. I hear them every night. Who's firing? Who are they shooting at? That's what's scary.
Rufus, tell me what you really think about Seymour Fishburne.
Seymour, he just scares me. A lot. Actually, he scares many people round here, even big fellows.
You mean his brutality is infamous, even in this shady part of town? That's impressive.
Yes, sir. How someone like that can be related to Mrs. Fishburne, well, it beggars belief.
The patience of a mother for her child knows no limits. None of us would be here otherwise.
You're right. And I certainly didn't mean any disrespect to the woman who takes such good care of me.
So long, Rufus.
I so love to gaze at the stars. The fog's been high late.
It's locked, all right. Good evening, madam. It's Dr. Reed again. May I come in?
You best come back in the morning, Doctor.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in? Please don't stay too long, sir.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
So you have questions about the flu, then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son.
How is...
Life has always been hard in the...
Do you think...
Don't know, but it's most light.
Violent...
And selfishness is there...
The orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no. My Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
Do you have an...
I just heard the sad saint.
Aren't you...
Hate everywhere. The city will not...
Goodbye.
Welcome back, Doctor.
Have you got any...
It's still there, just like the turquoise...
Are you concerned?
It may surprise you, but I'm not. I've heard about the men-at-arms and the fights between gangs at night.
I wish I shared your optimism.
It's not optimism. Gangs have been fighting in this part of town since before I was born. This war will stop when enough blood has been spilled.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a
Good
problem
evening,
as
Miss.
the soul.
What? Do you have an...
I still sleep over there.
Are you...
More contagion, more despair, more gut.
Goodbye.
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
You still working it?
Have you...
I was told he caught a deadly disease, but survived against all odds. Maybe he really is touched by grace.
Are you what?
Of course I am. Every...
Goodbye, Miss Kevin.
Situation won't last forever. After, we'll have plenty of time to plan the future.
Good thing we haven't seen Seymour for a while. Even Dyson has stopped coming in every night.
The pub's become right peaceful, don't you think?
Now everything seems under control, more or less.
Don't forget to keep an eye out for this guard of something, sweetie. My guess is they're recruiting for some vengeance.
In the meantime, the boys are waiting for our... well, for your orders, my sweet queen.
I hope the rumors about Clay are true. Otherwise...
Good evening, Miss...
Hello again, Doctor.
Are you... Goodbye, Miss...
Right now, sir. Beth? Let's be moving on.
I'd step back, sir.
Remember your vows, friends!
These boys! Cross the leash, boys! It's a leech! Kill it! There's one of them. Watch yourselves. It's a leech! Kill it! See it? Where's he goes? Let's fucking try.
Good evening.
How is the sanitary situation evolving?
When people buy guns instead of medication, it means they have already traded hope for fear in their hearts. In my...
You look ill.
I have no...
Well, there you have it.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Good evening.
Surely you are...
How do you feel?
I would not even...
Yes, you...
I said I...
How...
Terrible, to say the least.
There isn't just one way to help Whitechapel.
Your way seems to attract sorrow and despair, Mr. Doctor. Your kind of care is...
That's quite...
Stop pretending, Mr. Doctor. All you wanted was to confront Dorothea. You never intended to help Whitechapel's people.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is...
Who? You say she...
Well...
Tell me... Are you in...
Don't be...
Goodbye.
Fancy bar.
You never...
When there's more people outside at night than during the day, then you got to start to worry.
Do you need...
To be honest.
I will see you... That's all for now.
You again?
How?
I'm not easily scared, but crazy killers and armed patrols are lurking about. My son's right about this place.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson. Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind.
Do you need any...
It's...
I am shocked.
Forgive my...
Do you need any assistance?
Your mom...
How...
When I think about all the people who died...
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son.
How is the sanitary situation?
Don't you hear the trumpets? The apocalypse?
Tell me the reason why you despise Joseph Larrabee so much, Tobias.
A faithless shepherd is the worst criminal, for he leads his flock to the abyss by disregarding the right path. God's...
I only met him briefly.
Do you not believe in punishment, my son? I am not talking about the law of men. I am talking about judgment from heaven.
If it is God's will to punish me for my alleged sins, to make people I love suffer and die, then he did a good job. But he won't ever be my lord.
Armageddon is upon us, Dr. Reed. The final battle where every soul will be weighed. I'm afraid yours will burn for a long time.
I have heard enough for tonight.
I'm cheap and I'm clean. I'm proud.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you need
That would be not...
If you persist in...
Thank you, sir.
How are...
I always thought it was my role to reveal what really happens in these forgotten parts of London.
And you're not sure anymore?
Empty coffins. Cannibalism. Walking dead. I'm trying to report the truth about what's going on, but no one believes it anymore.
Goodbye, Mr. Hello again. Tell me, Camellia, how are things now the dispensary is closed? Very well. Hello again. You don't seem to need my medical attention for now. Very well. Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too. How I imagine we are all part of some nightmare.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Hello. Very well.
for the Swanborough cordial.
Better go home, sir.
Only the first step. Women of all countries
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
I have a boat ready to go whenever I want. These hunters won't catch me.
Lord Redgrave is outside almost every night coordinating our defenses. Such an example.
Have you heard the rumors of some...
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lancebearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why?
Because he is about to die, and he just...
Did he?
No, I did. Midas.
Does he know?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
How would you like...
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters them.
So
yeah.
You invited...
Not allowed as members, no.
So it's a tempt.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis.
Goodbye, Lord.